I was just thinking about like body language, right? And I was trained in dancing and gymnastic and riding and walking, um military walk, right? That means I don't have my own language. I'm. It's a little bit like my voice was trained for storytelling, right? It's all when I say something, I control my voice. That's why it's easy for me to sing. The most people are not aware of how their body gesture or mimics a voice sound, right? And that's if you are trained to control your voice and control your body. For example, I'm a sprinter, but I walk in passos. I walk in, it's a ballet expression for doing anything very slowly, right? So actually, I'm a fast thinker and also a fast mover, but I'm trained to talk very slow, right? I would probably talk faster if I didn't have learned to talk slow, right? Another thing is that laughter, for example, you can also train your laughter. If you have like a horrifying laughter, or like you can train it, and it doesn't if you want to. The problem with knowing a lot about body language is that I read a lot of people. For example, right now it's beginning to be winter. It's close to November, and people are starting to be depressed. And a depressed face is all. It's a mix of depression. It's aggressive. It's traumatized. It's sad in the same way, right? It has different faces, you could say. You can maybe, if I'm translating the Danes in November, I would say like a lot of percentage of the aggression of the faces are linked to depression. It's not personal. So if you come like a foreign person from countries that are not used to depressive faces, you would think that they are angry, sad, or something like that. I even misunderstood it myself because I didn't realize how much, and also because the Danes in historical time they were much more outside in the winter. They were farmers. That would say they were outside for going on looking after things. Now they go to work at 8 or 9 and they come home at 5, so it's dark all the time and they are inside. And that's why I think actually light therapy, which is solariums and highlights, you can easily buy things for that if you suffer from that sort of depression, right? Always contact the doctor. Another notice thing I have is that people in Denmark often think that they're home when they're outside. They will see if they walk in the streets or on a cafe, they act like they were at home, which is very weird. In a way, you could say that there are like four people going out on a bar and they sit and talk, and they talk like they were at their home place. They're not aware of that there are actually a lot of people in the room. When the alcohol comes in, it begins to be more like a flow between people. So the atmosphere, and that's why sometimes doormen they kick somebody out because the atmosphere can be tense around the person or negative, which then flows around, right? So basically, it's a bit like if there is a party and one of your family members is depressive or angry, it actually reflects on the others, right? In this, when I'm being fooled by wire scam and being attacked in September 12th, right? If you're in trauma, then you less control your body language, and that also counts for criminal. If you have done something criminal or you intend to do something criminal, your body language is more or less not under control. You are acting out, right? So basically, and also the Danes, the mimics of the Danes is very unfiltered. They don't think that other people notice that they are aggressive, or they are gossip talking, or they are looking. Also, another thing I noticed, that the Danes look very long at a person they don't know, which is weird because you can't do that. So they are a little bit like borderless, that they don't know the border between you and another person. And that's especially a problem in social care, in jail care, and in court system, that they simply suppress other people just in body language, but also, of course, of law and order. So basically, the Danes don't know so much about how important body language is. I also think there's like some of the sex industry, they know a lot about, like in commercial, they know a lot about it. They try to make young women behave and dress richer than they are, right? They sort of make them into, you could say, actors, right? Sexual object acting a certain way, right? So you can actually see that in some society, or in some areas, you can see that the few of the elite will try and influence you at your dressing, your interior design, your way to behave as upper class, right? But because it's not true, then it would be like a trash upper class, which is likely prostitution in a way, you know. So I'm not so happy about overdressing, because it's very dangerous. You can also see the opposite. You underdress. If, for example, if I'm in charts or something, or I'm operative and I come in my training suit, I maybe should have a uniform. Or if I'm a very skilled designer and I walk around in farming dress, like boots and jackets and so on, they will not think as me as a designer, right? And that's maybe a problem for me personally, but I think the most people overdress. In Denmark, they dress very much in dark colors, which is sad actually. But that's a bit like Eastern Europe, that nobody wants to be noticed, because if you get noticed, you might get trouble. It's the same with the elder care, the child care, the hospital system. To make a claim is difficult and dangerous, and to be spotted as a problem is even more dangerous. I have no choice, because I'm a missing person. So are my son. So I'm a problem itself, right? But basically, overdressing, it's some Danes are very well dressed quality, but maybe they don't so much about fashion, right? And then you have like the fashion shows, and again, if you're trained for posture or walking on a stage, if you're modeling, right, that's something different. But that's also an act. Like flirt is an act. Flirting is not that you are inviting everybody to come home with you and stay. Flirting is a compliment, right? So I think the Danes should learn something about giving compliments, because I think they did it before. Like, you have a nice dress, or you look, your hair is nice, because there's nothing dangerous about it, beside that people lift themselves up, right?